Would you like to be a guest on our podcast, Linking to the Afterlife? I will link you to a loved one in the world of spirit or one of your past lives. This is a free reading, and we are scheduling right now. Send us an email, linkingpodcast@gmail.com, and I will send you all the information. Thank you. Hi, this is Donna, psychic medium and direct messenger for spirit. If this is your first episode, welcome. I invite you to listen to previous episodes where I link my guest with their loved one in the world of spirit. What started as one thing is morphing into so much more, not just for my guest, but for all of us. Thank you for listening.
Tommy.
State the first name of the loved one that you'd like to connect with.
Victor.
Was Victor a man who gave freely to others? Possibly cash, possibly wisdom, but I feel more physical things like, hey, you need $5, here you go. Would that make sense?
Yes.
I felt he had it to give, though, and he never thought twice about giving it. People would say to him, oh, no, you really don't have to. And he'd say, no, really, I want to. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
An older gentleman, yes?
Yep.
I think you already told me this is your grandfather. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Would you say, though, that he did not cross of old age, meaning he wasn't, we'll say, in his late 80s to 90s?
Yeah, that's correct.
Do you know, did he wear either a suit to work or every day? Was he more of that straight-laced sort of guy? Like maybe he wouldn't be seen more in a suit as opposed to sweats?
He was always quite smart, so he did wear a suit quite often.
Quite smart. I like that. Yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Dressed, well dressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Concerned with his appearance.
Yeah.
And maybe almost to a point where he didn't want to sit down too much because he was afraid he'd get wrinkled.
Yeah.
I'm viewing him bending over a lot. That would tell me there were maybe a lot of grandchildren or a lot of children that he enjoyed interacting with. I'll say that way because, again, we'll go back to that proper gentleman that he was. Would that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
So there were a few grandkids or kids around.
So there was me and my brother and a few cousins as well. Yeah.
Okay. But he liked that. Would you say he liked interacting with children more than he did adults when he wanted to play?
Yeah.
Like there was that serious side of him, but yet when he wanted to let loose, the best part of him was to play with the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Because we spoke before, you and I do know that he's reached out and he's telling me, he's confirming he has reached out to you. Do you know if he was a traveler or he wanted to travel more than he did out of the country?
I'm not sure. He never said that, but I'm not sure if he may have done. I'm not sure if it was something that he wanted to do.
I'm feeling that he had thoughts of wanting to, but he did not. He might have traveled, city to city. I know you guys are in the UK, but he didn't really travel. He would have loved to go to Paris. He would love to go to Spain, but he just never made it. I think his business kept him tied.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. He was a hard worker, my granddad.
His fear, though, kept him tied to the business. His fear of not making enough money, his fear of not being able to support his family. Would that resonate with you?
Yes. Yeah.
So he was that sort of man who was all about support and
Oh, yes. Yeah.
emotional as well as financial.
Yeah.
He's telling me he's proud of all that you do. he said he feels that there are pieces of you that aren't so sure that's what you're meant to do, or you might be doing things just to provide. He says, but he's proud of everything, and you should never look down upon the work that you do in all aspects of your life. Do you understand that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it feels like you have a couple different jobs and they're like totally different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So you feel that about yourself. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
As you know, I've started doing podcasts and stuff, and that's really what I want to be doing. That's something that, I love doing. That's what I want to do going forward. But now I've got this other job at the moment that I am just doing to provide, and it is I'm doing that for the family basically. It's not what I want to be doing, but at the moment it's good for me to be doing that.
That makes total sense, because you see, he worked that into his words to me when he was here. That's what he focused on, that he needed to provide, and there were probably things that he did not do. So he's telling you, you do what you're doing, but don't ever think that one is more valuable than the other, or one means more than the other. They are all meant to be. And he's very happy that you have, like, I see this why, you've come to this crossroads where you've shot off in different directions. That's perfectly okay. It's perfectly fine. He wants you to honor that in yourself and not worry so much that, oh crap, I'm not going to be able to do what I really love if I keep doing this. Is that a thought in your head?
Yeah, yeah. And it has been for a long time, to be honest. That's something I've struggled with for a long time.
So perfect what he's coming through here for you. He says you understand that one gives you ability to do the other, and vice versa. You understand that?
Yes, yeah,
And he says, until that, you know how you shot off into the why, until those roads come back together and merge, this is where you will be for a bit. He's saying, and I see in my head, he's showing me the paths of the why, of how you verged into two different ways. And he's saying there aren't many roadblocks in either. So if you think one, you're like, oh, this happened today, maybe I should just let go of this, or crap, just didn't have the extra cash to do that. He says those aren't roadblocks. Those are part of your way, your purpose. You understand?
yeah,
He's saying he doesn't want you right now to quit either, because both of them are making the person who you are meant to be. He's asking you because he hears your thoughts and he hears your constant wondering. You understand?
yeah, 100%.
And he's telling me, tell him, Donna, not to wonder in his head, should I or shouldn't I? And just say, I am.
Yes, yeah,
Should I do this? Should I do that? Just say, I am doing this.
yeah,
And you feel how should I or shouldn't I takes you out of present and takes you out of purpose.
yeah.
Speak to me how that feels for you to not say, should I or shouldn't I? And how does it feel to bring you back to the present moment?
It feels like it takes a lot of pressure off, a relief, because it is something I'm always, because obviously you've got these two sides of you. I want to give my focus to the podcast and stuff like that. That's my main. But obviously, I've got the other job that's important as well. So it's both the balance.
He says, you understand why you started the podcast and how you want to grow it, because you were meant to start it. We'll say, as a youngster learning, you were meant to start it and learn as you grow. He's very happy that you decided to do that, as opposed to, let me just figure everything out first. Let me get all my guests lined up. Let me do all of this, and then I'll start it.
Yeah.
He said, kudos to you. That was a powerful move. Does that make sense? What do you have to say to him about that?
Yeah. I told you before, the podcast is something I wanted to do for a long time. And I just sort of went, I'm doing it now. And I just started it and I'm just going. I've not been doing it too long, but it's growing, it's doing well, and I'm enjoying it. So yeah, that makes sense.
That was the idea. And now he says, don't forget, just don't struggle with that, because you're on this perfect trajectory of your purpose. When something different is going to happen, you'll know it.
Yeah.
You'll see it. You will sense it. However, you won't if you continually ask, should I or shouldn't I?
Just go for it.
Yeah, you miss the present moment. You miss it. Now, all of us are on the trajectory of our soul purpose. We're all on it. Some of us, like me, I've been saying I've been wanting to start a podcast for at least 7 or 8 years. It didn't happen until recently, and it went. It wasn't my time. This was your time. This is your time. However, again, if you ask, oh, but I forgot I need to do this, or oh, I should do that, oh, I should have done that, do it next time. Let go of everything you brought before this moment. What a fabulous lesson. Yes?
Yeah, definitely.
Tell me again how that feels. I want the listeners to feel that feeling. How does it feel in your physical body as well as your emotional body? Because that's the idea of these readings, to allow spirit, whoever's talking, to guide us in releasing some things that have been holding us stuck. So how does that feel?
It feels good. It feels good to know that, because it is something that I worry a lot about, and and things I know I shouldn't really worry about, but I still worry about it. So it feels good to know that I've just got to just go with the plan, go with the flow, and just sort of do my best. As long as I'm doing my best, that's all that really matters. It's a good feeling. It's like a relief.
So how does that feel to your physical body? Like, did you feel your shoulders relax?
I do get tense quite a lot when it's all getting on top. I do sort of, oh, I can feel it. So it is nice to sort of hear that, and to, yeah, it's nice to hear that. You can feel that release.
And now going forward, you can remember your grandfather's words
Yeah.
and know that they've resonated with you. Just bring that feeling back and allow it. Be more, just say to yourself, well, that's not present moment. This worry is not present moment. I can think about something. I can think about, I need to do this or I need to do that. Not, I should have done.
Yeah.
Going forward, I need to do it this way. And then tell me what would happen if going forward you do it, but then you screw it up? How would that make you feel?
I hope I don't. But I mean, I am just enjoying the process of it as well. Just enjoying learning more. Because before I've started doing, I do editing and stuff now, and it's a new thing to me. I've not been doing it very long. I've always wanted to do it, and I never did it, and because I was always worried I'm not going to be able to learn how to do that. I'm not going to be able to learn how to do this. And now I'm just enjoying learning. I don't know everything. I'm far from knowing everything. I've got so much to learn, but I'm getting better every day. So I am sort of, I'm enjoying that process as well, even though it is stressful.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we went through, my editor, my sister. There was nothing about that I wanted to do. I did not want to touch a computer and do that. She took it on and she's saying the same things. It just gets easier and easier, and you run up against obstacles.
Yeah.
But it's part of the process. And if you screwed something up again, you just change it the next time.
Yeah.
There's always a next time. There's always a next moment. However, you are only living in this moment.
Yeah.
So all the shoulds, the should have, the would have, could have, do you feel you can let that go now based on your grandfather's ideas?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But you see how you probably picked that up from him.
Yeah.
You know, unconsciously, we see our parents or grandparents doing certain things, and we know we don't want to do it that way. And he's telling you right now, don't do what I did. Go, just go, be your purpose.
Yeah.
Do you know, Tommy, if he had a sister
Yes.
and she is in the non-physical world, yes or no?
I know this sounds stupid, but I don't know. I don't think she is now. We sort of lost contact with. He had, I think, 4 brothers and 1 sister, and to be honest, we lost contact with. I don't know. I think they've all passed now. To be honest, there might be one still alive, but I'm not sure. I know that sounds crazy, but
No, it doesn't. From what I'm sensing, he has one sister. He said one sister, and I believe I do sense that she is there with him. They are happy to be together. I feel she crossed after him for sure.
yeah,
And they connected right away when she got there. She passed of some sort of sudden onset illness that caused her to pass. Not a lot of physical pain. I don't feel a lot of physical pain in his body either. What caused him to cross, that he crossed, he might have been a little ill, but he crossed very quickly. Would that make sense, Tommy?
yeah. Oh wow, yeah, yeah. It was a quick.
Quick.
Yeah,
But I feel he was like in his suit to the end. Like he didn't want to, no, do not put me in PJs. Do not put me in a robe. Do not put me in a gown. I feel he just wanted to be proper all the time. Would that make sense?
yeah, definitely. It was like that. Yeah, very much proud.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's very close to the physical world. And I know you've mentioned you've seen, heard, felt, sense, and this would make perfect sense because this is where he is. He says, Donna, I enjoy being this close and I'm going to stay this close to him. So anything, my dear boy, that you want to say, that you want to ask, just never ask again, should I have?
wow.
He says that's the one thing he doesn't. I feel I'm giggling more than he is. He's still so straight laced. I'm like, well, that was funny. He says it wasn't meant to be funny, Donna. Do you feel you can do that with him?
Yeah, yeah,
He said, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're questioning about him, he says, all of the questions you have about him, he says, I have one answer. Absolutely. That's his answer to everything you've ever thought about him, questioned about him. He's saying, Donna, let me just answer them all because we don't have time for any more. I'll just answer absolutely. So I'm saying to him, but is that absolutely yes or absolutely no? And he's like, that's not for me to say. Just tell him absolutely. So you feel how that message from him allows you to come to your own conclusions.
yeah,
He said, Gramps, if I did this or and this, would this come, would this be a part of what happens? And he will just say back to you, absolutely. But you have to be the one that goes and does it.
yeah,
He can't give you the answer. He wants you to say absolutely yes or absolutely no. That's funny. I appear to believe now that he's finally getting a little sense of humor here at the end, but that took me a bit. That took me a bit to hear and feel his sense of humor. Anything you want to add, Tommy, to this?
Can I ask him something, or is it?
You can try, sure, but remember what his answer always is.
Yeah, so yeah, it's actually There's no point in asking that. No, that was amazing. That was amazing.
So enjoy your time where you've created this Y of distance, this path of distance, and that's okay because they will come together eventually. And he's like, absolutely, your grandfather, absolutely, absolutely. I feel you're going to hear that word a lot going forward,
Yeah.
whether it's from him or maybe someone else in your life, in your physical life, will just say it out of the blue. Absolutely, Tommy. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, that's my grandfather.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you might see it on your computer. Someone may email you back. Absolutely, let's do this. That will always be your grandfather.
That's cool. That was amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'd like to thank my guest today for allowing all of us to join in on their process, their journey. And I'd like to thank you for not only listening, but coming together in a oneness vibration. Thanks again.